Aloha, good morning. It is day 6 of the Eat Local Maui Challenge through Project Locavore, and I am going to harvest up a few wild greens that are growing in my garden for some breakfast slash brunch. So here I've got some purslane that is just absolutely gorgeous, Portulaca oleraceae, and I'm going to harvest all of it, including the stems, just kind of like find where it breaks off easily, tender, juicy, succulent. And then I have some beautiful wild amaranth that is growing in the garden here as well. So I'm gonna harvest up a bunch of these leaves. And so I didn't plant either of these, they are just wild, and I love having these incredible friends. They're so nourishing and delicious, and so thank you, thank you, thank you. The lighting might be better on this other patch of purslane that I found in the garden. You can see the little seed heads that are forming on there, those little capsules. They will spill open with lots of tiny black seeds. They'll open up with a yellow flower. Oftentimes the stem is slightly reddish in color, not always, but that's definitely something that differentiates it with bacopa, which I would say is kind of a look-alike to purslane. Bacopa, if you nibble on it, is very, very bitter. It's a medicinal plant, so it's not gonna hurt you if you mistake that one, but always good to work on the proper identification. So yeah, like I said, I'm just literally going to be using the stem as well as these little petals, these leaves. They're kind of succulent, slightly mucilaginous, and as I'm sure many of you have heard, purslane is just loaded with nutrients. It is such a nutritious wild green. And here's another little wild amaranth. You can see that notch at the end of the leaf. I know that that isn't a universal trait of the wild amaranths, but all of the ones I find in Hawaii definitely have that little notch on the tip. So I'm not sure which species of amaranth this is. It's not spiny amaranth because it doesn't have spines. But I know that it's an amaranth through the leaf shape, the alternate leaf pattern, and that notching, the veins, the smooth leaf margins. All right, so I brought my wild greens in and washed them up. I took some of the cassava that I had harvested yesterday. I boiled it and used my food processor to blend it up, and I added a little bit of coconut milk in there just to get that nice, like, I mean, it's like mashed potatoes, it's so delicious. And then I took some of that and added it to a bunch of chopped basil, the purslane, the wild amaranth, and some sheep sorrel wild greens that I had harvested last weekend, along with some pepper and salt. And then I have these beautiful poblano peppers, and what I did was inside each one, after I hollowed them out from the seeds, I stuck in a cherry tomato, some beautiful cheese, then the cassava herb mix, and then topped it with a little cheese, and then I'm gonna bake them up. And I have enough here that it'll probably be a couple of meals. Scoring an awesome Java plum harvest here. And as you can hear, it's close to the road, but I don't really care. I'm gonna wash them up really, really well from any dust, and it's a healthy tree, and yay, scar! All right, so I washed up those Java plums really well, and then I put them into a pot and just covered with water. And as soon as the very first sign of boiling, I'm going to turn off the water, and then I will put them into a nut milk bag and then squeeze out the juice. So yeah, that's on my agenda. And then I'm actually kind of craving a smoothie. So I have some coconut milk that I made, and I have these beautiful, delicious Rubus, niveus, the hill raspberry or Mysore raspberry that I foraged a couple of months ago. And I'm going to just kind of blend the two. I might add some sweetener if needed, a little bit of honey, but yeah. Okay, the smoothie is so delicious. It didn't need any sweetener. Super ono. The Java plum have, just come to the boil. You take it off. I would remove it from the burner to start the cooling process. And this is such an essential tool in my kitchen. If you're gonna purchase a nut milk bag, they're about $6. I would really encourage you to find one that has a drawstring. This is like my technique when I'm making coconut milk or all of these different wild fruit juices. I put the fruit in there, or the coconut mash after it's been blended in there, and I let it just kind of naturally drain for some time before I come in and really massage it, squeeze it, and you really want to be sure and squeeze it and get all of it out, because so many of those phenols, those just absolutely so healthy. You're eating purple, right? You don't have to have science tell you that it's good for you. And those are really heavily located in the skins, and so you really want to get all of that. So this still has a lot of massaging, a lot of lomi left to do on this. And once it's I will put this into a bottle and put it in the refrigerator, and it'll definitely last for some time. That's the Java plum juice.